Nani aliandika hii honestly? Because this is not a question.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yo guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Deep Dive podcast. And this wonderful day, this blessed day, manze. Tumefurahi kurudi. We are back ndani ya Deep Dive show. Pretty, how's your week been?
My week has been productive. It has been good. I hope so yours.
Yeah, mine has been good. Mine has been dope, and I thank the Lord. You guys, I want to give you guys a challenge. You know, you've been really welcoming, you've been really positive with our videos. Thank you so much for commenting down below. Thank you so much for just tuning in every single episode. So far, so good. 2 videos. This is our 3rd video now.
Yeah.
My goodness, God is good. God is gracious. So we want to give people a challenge. Yeah? 1 viewer, 10 shares.
Exactly.
Yes, 1 viewer, 10 shares. Because you see, the conversations we are creating is all about building ourselves up, building you guys up. Sisi tunajibuild as young people, because there are conversations that we want to create, especially the conversation that we're going to tackle in today.
Yeah. Today is going to be a great episode. We are deeping dive. So, yeah.
So today we want to talk about failure and
In combination with insecurities.
Right. Now, as you can see, leo kuna maswali tumeandaliwa hapa.
Yeah, today we are doing it in some sort of Q&A. Yeah, so are you ready for this?
Of course, kama kawaida.
And it's about to go down.
So, ladies first.
Do
Yeah,
you
as
know?
in it's ladies first.
Okay. So the game is you pick a question and then you like emphasize on it or rather answer.
You give an answer or share an experience.
Yeah. And then they said ladies first, so I go first. Oh God.
Ndio swali nilikuwa na hepa.
How do insecurities lead to failure? Well, insecurities, first of all, when I hear of the word insecurities, it is like you're not enough, or you lack something, or there is something about you that you don't like. So for me, and failure is lack of success, right? So for me, how do insecurities lead to failure? When you're insecure, you're anxious, you have a low self-esteem, so you find that when you want to tackle issues, it's kind of hard for you. So when you have a lot of insecurities about yourself, about how you appear, about how you talk, maybe you have social anxiety and all, it really prevents you from attaining that success you really want, because you can't get to your full potential with insecurities.
That's so true.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Actually, you've actually described the whole term, that question in that say the other way we could describe what insecurities are and what failure is, which is so true, because come to think of it as in our insecurities, for some reason they always push us to failure, because what we are afraid of facing, what we're afraid of accepting, it's us, it's what will push us to, go
To
down
not
the
attaining
drain.
success.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
true. Okay. Have you ever had to choose between failing and doing something unethical to prevent it?
Wow.
You see, sometimes failure is actually, I think we're all afraid of failing. Let us all accept that kwanza, because
Nani anataka kuanguka?
unaangukaje kwa hii maisha, but failing is really hard and it's really bad, and sometimes kuna kogana tunamsemo inasemanga kuteleza si kuanguka. And sometimes every time tunateleza, every time tuna sleep, si tunaona hiyo ni failure. So sometimes unethicals tulianza kitambo, kuiba mtihani.
I know, right?
tuliba mtihani, and I think that's where, as young people, unethical started. For me, for example, sometimes you feel like we need to cheat out of something. Like you need to cheat out of your CV. You need to cheat out unajaza vitu hakuna commercial, so that you just don't want to fail, you don't want to miss out on a certain type of opportunity. So for me, an ethical means of failing, personally mi nilianza na kuba mtihani kwanza mi nilianza primary, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. But other than that, I think it's also like, even with my friends, just from their experience, from everything, is sometimes people cheat their way out on CVs and everything. So I feel like even to those who are watching us, like, yo man, just comment down below to ambie manzi, oh, hey, unethicals ni mingi.
I know, right? You know, I've been in the modeling industry, and you know, for you to be like the queen, so you guys are vying for something. So inakwanga hivi, when you're vying for something, you're a number of people, let's say like 10 people. And now, lazima ukwe among the top three. Either when you're queen, first runners, or second runners. So what happens is that some people pay a certain amount of money to the judges, so that's now they can get the crown, you see. So that is unethical.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
so true.
Yeah. My turn. I hope this time it's a good one.
Nani kubwa?
Do you often engage yourself in negative self-talk? Oh my God. Of course, who doesn't do that? I do engage myself in negative self-talk because sometimes you get into some things in life. Obviously, kila mtu jita mkutano. Ama nani ajitangi mkutano? When you're in your bed alone, when you're in a room alone, hata saa zingine in a group of people, you find yourself deep in your thoughts. You're trying to ask yourself, really? Lakini pia mbona ulifanya hii kitu? Is this the way it was supposed to be done? Yeah, I do engage myself in negative self-talk. For example, let's say I was having a talk with someone, and then kuna saa zingine unaongea na watu, and then unasikia umeongea mingi, and then when you go sit down, you're like, guy, nilisema, alafu hiyo kitu nilisema ilikuwa ina make sense. So like, yeah, I do get into negative self-talk with myself.
Self-talk. I think it happens daily for me. Like, hey, na hii kitu inaweza fanyika. Like, you're like, hey, you form inaweza why. Like, every time you're always, you know, negative self-talk will always, is the first culprit of self-doubt.
Yeah.
Like, every time you're just talking down yourself, you're just lowering down your self-esteem, not bringing up your self-doubt. And so I feel like every time tunajibongesha vibaya, like, you should be your first cheermaster. Like, you should be the first person when you're like, hey,
bigs up yourself.
I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna, you know. But ukianza kusema mi siwezi make, man, interview hata siwezi make, because you see, every time you just keep doing that, unajirudisha nyuma. And probability is most people who make it in life, ama who make a step further in life, ni wase wenye waliamua kuketi chini na wakasema, you know what, inaweza kuwa inakani limit, inaweza kuwa limited in a certain point of thing, inaweza kuwa limited with a certain at a certain point, whether financially, whether nini, but for some reason mina naweza make it, and I make it. So to learn kujibongesha fiti, to learn kuwa positive.
Yeah, and once someone told me, never limit yourself. If it's like an interview for a business, go for it. Do not turn yourself down before they turn you down. Just go, let them interview you. One, you're not valid for this, but do not disqualify yourself.
Disqualify yourself.
Yep.
Mungu ni nani? Nawambianga. What are the things that make you anxious?
Ta-doom.
Hallelujah. What are the things that make me anxious? I think the fact that we're talking about failure and insecurities, failure actually makes me anxious. We're like, what if I don't make it?
I know.
I think I'm the type of people that will think through something. Like, if I'm being called in for an interview on a Friday and today's on a Monday, my whole week will not be at ease. Like, God, am I doing something? So like, it's so bad. And I think also the other thing about anxiety, which I think I also talk a lot to most people, we're always afraid about how people think or how people perceive us. Exactly. Like you just, hiyo kitu inaweza pea msee anxiety ingine hakuna. And you know, sometimes when we talk about anxiety, it's not just about anxiety attacks. It's anxious, like you're just anxious. You always
tomorrow.
you're always shaking. You're not even sure. You're not comfortable when you umevaa, when you umedress. Like unapata msee amekaa chini, they're all over. You know?
They're not really.
They're not at ease. Like anxiety, especially being anxious as a person, as a human being, as a young person, ni kitu sana huwa inatu affect sana. And I remember I was talking to one of my friends, and she was like, nimepost picha fulani TikTok. You're like, yo, yeah, so relax. What's popping? Because you see, these small, tiny things
They really make you anxious.
They really make people anxious. Like you just meet somebody so uncomfortable. When I'm with the issue, then they just tell you an issue that's so small that you're like, oh my god. But yeah, at the end of the day, these are things that affect us. Yeah, which is so true. For example, we're talking about failure. Failure makes a lot of us really anxious. Like, for example, our YouTube channel. I trust you, miss. Like, when we started this journey, I was like, are people gonna watch us? Are people gonna be relatable? You know, and growing. And let us say we are now growing. We're now booming. Are we going to be having positive, negative feedback? At the end of the day, all these things just bring a lot of anxiety, us being anxious. So I think the better question will be then, if you know these things make us anxious, how then do we see how to manage or to cope with it? Yeah. So
I think anxiety is something that everyone experiences in their daily life. Because personally, as a young person, I'm so anxious to see how my future will be like, how I will wake up tomorrow, what I will be up to, are my plans in check, will I succeed in whatever I'm planning. So like we are anxious on a daily basis, and as long as you're an ambitious person, you have to be anxious. Because sometimes hata natumanga text, alafu natoka online because I'm thinking mtu atasema nini. That's anxiety, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's keep them going.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hizi maswali kai.
Oops.
Na nyinyi unapata zile kubwa.
Have you? Oh God. Have you ever lowered yourself to get something you wanted? Oh my God, I did it. I did it again and again. I think sometimes in life you want things so bad that you end up lowering your standards to get them. Yeah, I remember in 2 or 3 occasions I have really degraded myself to get something that I wanted. Lowered my standards to fit in a certain group of friends. You see? Yeah, I have.
That's so true, because I think lowering ourselves, our standards, ama penye tunaji, like this is me, but then for some reason I want to put myself here.
Exactly. You want to fit in.
You know, like unalower standards zako. Some people even lower their thinking.
Exactly, to accommodate someone.
So which is really.
It's, you know, when you're lowering yourself to like accommodate someone else, I don't know, wewe ndo unajimaliza tu kabisa.
Because again, you find yourself trying to fit in a group that doesn't really suit you. Exactly. So you end up just feeling uncomfortable. You end up feeling like, easy place, young. But again, you still just want to be there. So.
Because being there, you feel like utakuwa some sort of utakuwa wenda ule mse. Because obviously when you're in high school, I know unajua tukiwa high school you used to have those groups, kuna watu wa tao, kuna wale wa ushago, alafu sasa kuna, I don't know if in your school you used to have such. In your school kulikuwa na wale watu wa town, kulikuwa na ile group ya town. So kawe ni ushago, lazima ungetafuta vile utajifix ndo fit in.
Also wa tao.
Yeah, so like I feel like people out there, you've degraded yourself maybe to like accommodate someone in a relationship, because some people lower their values to accommodate. Maybe the person you're dating, the person you love cannot get to your standards. So like you have to compromise, ndo mkwe ata common nini. But I feel like people should climb the ladder to get you at where you are. There's no point where you should like lower yourself to accommodate someone else. No, that's a no. If it gets to that, manze, no. You cut it short.
Big N-O.
Yeah.
Do you feel like being imperfect is perfectly natural? Do I feel like being imperfect is perfectly nah? Because I think why being imperfect? I think being imperfect, number one, is why do you feel like uko imperfect? Like I'm imperfect in, maybe let's say I love singing, so I'm imperfect in singing. So I'm
Your
like,
voice is not that
my
good.
voice is not that good. So I'm like, let me just be perfectly right with it. Or I'm trying to work on something, I'm trying to improve myself on something, let's say mentally, emotionally, and because I'm not yet there, I just accept, oh, I'm imperfect with my emotions, I'm imperfect with my mental well-being, so it's perfectly natural.
Yeah, I think being imperfect is perfectly natural.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think there's something that is always exactly perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is imperfect something perfect natural? Can't really remember it, but how personally vile may understand is it's good, si vibaya kuko imperfect, because you can't always be right, or you can't always have it all the time. It's good to be imperfect. You know, they always say for you to know something bad, there has to be a good. And for you to know something good, there has to be a bad. Or maybe you had to be treated in a certain type of way for you to realize this is bad. Me being treated this way is bad. I ought to be treated this way. This is the good way to be treated. So I feel, yeah, being imperfect is perfectly natural. Because you have to be imperfect for you to realize that you need to be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Okay.
My turn. Nani aliandika hii honestly? Because this is not a question.
Kenya. Okay. All right.
Okay. Like, what worries you most at the moment? Hey, are you sure you want to know what worries me at the moment? What worries me most is whether I'll ever get married and settle with someone in my house. But what worries me most, leave alone that, is success. Like, I really fear failure. I really fear failure a lot. Like, I'm trying to look at myself in the mirror, and then I'm like, in the next 5 years or 10 years, where do I want to be? And will I exactly be here? That is what worries me most. Most in life. Because I'm like, right now I'm 20, let's say that, no. So in my 25, maybe I want to have I want to have a car. I want to have a degree or two. You see, so I'm like, will I really achieve this? So that is what worries me most in life.
I think what worries me most in life is still the same line of success. Like, where I'm seated right now, I have a whole idea of how I want my life to be.
Exactly.
I just want something good, I want something beautiful,
Perfect.
I want to run an empire, I want to be, you know, you want to be in this level, I want to be traveling the world, like, you know, you're just making one phone call. Like me, I usually dream like I will not be stuck while I will not be answering my calls.
I know, you need to have a manager.
Yeah, like, you know.